couple hours scheduled. I don't expect, we had 200 people jump in the webinars. So if we had 50 here today total, I'd be really happy. And so, but I'm going to take all the questions that have been coming in, and then I'm taking some of the questions that you may have live. And then I'm taking some of the questions you should be asking that maybe you're not thinking of to grow your business much faster. Okay. So let's talk about why the 100K a day method, why I'm teaching it, how I discovered it, and why you should be doing it to grow your business, and why I believe it's the fastest way to grow your business. Now, somebody messaged me, which we'll talk about in a moment, is like, is it a webinar? And I'm like, well, a webinar is a tool that you use, and webinars can create 100K a day. So like you can make 100,000, 200,000, $1 million, and you can also make zero, just so you know. Like, so there's nothing, there's no bigger claims than, like you could also hit a zero, but we would consider that a simple test. Like, you tested it, you had a few people on the call, it didn't make any sales. You look at how you did, and you make adjustments to it. The 100K day process is where you stack multiple tools on top of it. And so that collectively, if I was starting out in my coaching club, starting out in my med spa business, starting out promoting my dental practices, like say dental implants. I talk a lot about dental implants. I spent 12 years helping doctors get implants. This strategy that we're talking about works. You do the math. If you're selling a $5,000 product or service or coaching club or whatever it might be, in dentistry, a lot of the times, like, dental implant patients were worth anywhere between $7,500 and $15,000, depending on the office. And then you work backwards, like how many new patients do I need to create $100,000 day? Well, if it's 10,000, let's just keep things simple. That's 10 new patients, right? So if I get a 1% conversion rate, I need 1,000 leads. Okay. Now, what would it cost a dentist in an area who's attracting dental implant cases to get a lead? Let's say it's $30. I think that's pretty expensive. That would be $30,000 in ad spend. That's super expensive, in my opinion. I think in a referral-based practice, you could cut that down, but I don't want to go too far off in the medical practices. I'm giving you a mathematical equation, okay? So you spent $30,000, you generated $100,000 of front end revenue, and then you add referrals to that. And now every referral you get, you cut the cost of ad spend down. Okay. So then that becomes a $250,000 day. Do you see how that works? Now, for some of the doctors I worked with back in the day, we literally would spend $1,000 and generate $80,000 to $100,000. One more dental example, then I'm going to jump into your questions, and you guys can post if you have questions at any time. I see Jody just jumped in, David Moffitt's here, Jamil, Robert, Susie. You could private message your question. You can make it public. It doesn't matter to me. We'll get to it in a moment. But where I was going with it was where we first did it was teaching them how to do open houses, and in 90 minutes to 3 hours, they would move more patients through a workshop and generate $80,000, $160,000, $200,000, $300,000 in treatment plan. Now, in the coaching business, this is happening all around you all the time. So if I'm selling a $5,000 service product or whatever, say it's $3,000, say it's $1,000, say it's $10,000. It all comes down to you taking out a pen and paper, take out a pen and paper, and you write out the value of your program, and then you take 100,000 or $250,000 or $1 million, and you divide that. It's that simple, guys. So if I'm selling a $5,000 product or service or coaching club or package or anything, like we have a sauna right behind you. We bought it when my daughter got sick. We have a sauna, and then I have a red light bed. It's up. It's not by me. But then I look over to my right, and I got a Peloton. Like, Those are all multi-$1,000 products. I would use a webinar / like mini video infomercial to sell those. Why? Because we can go through every single psychological trigger and emotional trigger in a presentation that turn a prospect into a client, customer, patient, or licensed, whatever you might, a franchise owner, whatever it is you want to sell in a matter of minutes, rather than handling things one by one, dealing with too many cold. You feel like you're selling, you're being pushy, you're being hard. Like you're not being pushy, but you're not getting sales because you don't know how to move super cold people into a happy, committed buyer. It's a super amazing skill. So $5,000, right? What is it to 100,000? We need 20 buyers, right? And so how difficult would it be? Let's say it's a 1% conversion rate, which, by the way, you're going to get better conversion rates than 1%. You're just going to, okay, just so you know. And you're generating Facebook leads. Facebook leads, like when we're running leads right now, it fluctuates between $8 and $20. We want to be around $12. Like that's our target. In some niches, in some industries, and this is why like getting mentored and coached and understanding it, the reason, because your niche industry might be different. Like you might be getting $3 leads. Your conversion rate or your price point might be lower, but it doesn't matter. So if I'm getting, but let's just do the math. Let's do worst case scenario, right? I'm selling a $5,000 package. I got $15 leads. I'm getting a 1% conversion rate, right? So I go 1,000 leads is what it's going to take me to get how many sales, guys, times 1% conversion rate. You can type in the chat if you want. If you want to get interactive, I appreciate it. Or I want to see some questions coming in too, by the way. But if I have 1,000 leads and I get 10 sales at $5,000, that's $50,000. And I just spent $10,000 on advertising. Okay. Who would spend $10,000 to get $50,000, right? Who would do it? I mean, I would do that bet all day long as much as I possibly could. Okay, there's my chats. Okay, there, I just had to see everybody. Okay, here's my chats, everyone. All right, we got some questions coming in. Thank you, guys. And so that's why this is the best model in my opinion. Now, the other thing I just want to talk about, businesses don't grow slow. Write that down. Businesses don't grow slow. Businesses either grow fast or they don't grow. People will say the comment of like, it takes 3 years for a business to get profitable. Well, not if you're doing it right. That's a bad idea if it takes 3 years to get profitable. Or one of those businesses, frankly, you shouldn't be in, especially during economic times like right now. You should be in a high margin business where you need the least amount of prospects and put them on a conversion mechanism like the one I'm talking to right now. And it allows people to get to know you, like you, trust you. More importantly, though, it gets them to know if the service or product or thing that you're selling is something that they should be buying. Okay. Now, you might be asking, well, how do you run the ads? How do you get the prospects? How do you do that? We're going to cover all that right now. Okay. But the number two thing, I said this in the last webinar, you don't have a money situation. Like if you're struggling with money right now, or personal financial economy is not where you want it to be, it's not about your ability to make money. It's about your ability to make money faster. Okay. And so it all goes down to speed. Is like, if I can put 1,000 prospects in front of me over a year, right? If usually to make, 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, $250,000, $500,000, it takes a year. The question you should be asking is, what would happen if I was able to make that? Jamil said chat's disabled. All right, let me figure that one out, chat. Jamil, I appreciate that. You guys could always post it in Q&A though, if you want. That works too. That works too. And I appreciate it. Help me out there. Very soon, Robert and Jamil, I'll have an assistant that's doing all the stuff on the tech side of it. I have assistants and stuff, but the thing is none of them know. Trying to see where my settings might be. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I don't want to lose momentum on our topic. All right, I may have not done that. So just post in the Q&A, guys. Okay, I won't ask you to post anything in the chat. Okay, so the next thing is it's about a speed thing, right? And it's about getting them in. Now, the third thing is speed is a matter of quality. So if I have 1,000 on there that are just junk leads, you can get junk leads. And that's usually a function, write this down. That's usually a function of the sophistication of the market that you are speaking at. The quality of the leads are usually a function of the sophistication of the quality of the leads. And the quality leads are based on the sophistication of the market. And what that means is that you're not targeting the right portion of the market you're trying to serve. And you might not be aware of that. So, okay. So in a minute, I'm going to go over questions. I want to jump into walking through what we have planned for you next week on Monday in our 100K per day challenge. Okay. As my thing's coming up. And then the reason I'm sharing this now is because I don't want to worry about it later. I want to make sure I get this off the radar. I'm going to post in the Q&A the link. If you want to sign up for the 100K 5-day challenge, I would love for you to be in it. It's going to be outrageously awesome. You're going to have let me just show this to you real quick. I might have to have my team chat this out to you real quick. This is the link. We are going to go through the entire training on how to turn your business into a machine that leads with experiencing a 100K a day challenge, or 100K a day business asset. And so what that looks like is over 5 days, the first thing that I'm going to go through, and by the way, guys, I'm going to give you the prices right now. It's $97, $297, and $497. And the reason I priced it that way was it allows people that might be like not sure if this is right for them. It allows people who are questioning what this is all about, if this is right for them, and it also allows people to have more access at the same time, because in 5 days I'm going to literally give you 27 years of running launches, running live events, selling coaching and masterminds from the stage. And I'm going to lay it out for you so that you can literally be getting clients, patients, customers, deal flow in as little as 5 to 21 days, right? The challenge is not, I just told you $97, $297, $497, and I'll get to that in a second. But if you want to post a question in here, I'll go ahead and I'll give you guys the answer here. And I'm gonna give you links to everything right now. So Robert, I'm sending you a link. Jamil, I'm sending you a link. David Moffitt's already in it. So I love you, David, you're the best. And so day one, I'm gonna go through like the big formula, how we're gonna do it, why live events are the fastest way to time collapsing, the know, like, and trust factor. Most importantly, the purchase factor. And then we're gonna cover like the 2 most important money-making formulas that you guys could possibly have, okay? And the reason, I'll give it one of them to you right now, but it's one of those that the thing you got to understand is that the formulas of make more offers to more people more often. The magic is we're not creating more programs with offers. You're just figuring out different ways to target different segments of the market, if that makes sense. Okay. And once you're able to do that, you're going to be blown away at how you can literally double or triple the size of your business, because you're targeting more spectrums of the market. I'll give you a great example. I have a buddy of mine. He's black and he's brilliant, and he's doing like over $1 million to a couple million a month in in the 100K method, but he's doing 7-figure method, right? And so I said to him, I said, look, man, what we should do is partner on the same exact product. This is a writer downer, guys. This is a writer downer. I said, we should be partnering on the product, but you lead with me and all the advertisements, and we run it from a different Facebook site and even whole campaign. And we use my Mr. X method, So it's a blind, no one knows who the expert is, but then it's me selling all the cool stuff that the expert can give them. Do you see what I'm saying there? Now, would we pull in a bigger market or a smaller market? And the answer is we pull in a much bigger market, right? And then he would benefit the trust, the like, the factor, the third-party edification, the speed of people wanting to work with him would go through the roof because, because what's up, Perry? Glad you made it. Because he has me endorsing him publicly. So when people come in, he's now getting referrals. He's not getting cold leads, if that makes sense. Okay. So then on day 2 or on day, so that's day 1, we're going to cover that. But I'm also going to walk through some case studies. And then in these case studies, the one is when I worked with a Dr. Blatchford, where we built out a whole system for it. Now, the coolest thing about on day 1 is I'm going to give you his funnel. I built it. It's not the one they're currently using the way they're using. He's trying to retire, so they're moving him out of it. And then what we'll do is I'm going to walk you through his entire funnel, like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. And then he uses a book as well. So then if you have the 100K day method in your business and you're locking it in, well, you put it behind the book. And then in another funnel, you put it side by side with the book. Like, so again, what are we doing there, guys? We're getting a bigger market because we are now attracting people that, some people like to read books. Some people like PDFs. Some people like checklists. Some people like to watch webinars. Some people like, see what I mean? But you got to have a sales mechanism where you put them in a room like this. And like today, our tool today is what we call the Ask Me Anything framework. Okay. And I haven't even revealed the unannounced bonus framework or the cleanup method. Like this is why the 100K method is not a webinar. It's a stacking of multiple assets that collectively will close 3 to 10 times more than what you're currently doing or what you would be doing if you're just doing a book or just doing a webinar. I love some of the guys that are teaching webinars. They're doing an amazing job. But if you actually look behind the scenes, they're doing more than just a webinar, right? They are doing a form of Ask Me Anything. Some are. The guys who are really cleaning up. But I have another buddy who's got 10,000 leads on a webinar they're doing this weekend. 10,000 leads, guys. 10,000 leads. Did they start at 10,000? No, they probably started out at 50. Just so you know, okay? They probably started out at 50, okay? And now they've bolted up all the way to 10,000 leads. So, okay, so then on day 1, we're going to wrap up with 5 different types of events that skyrocket sales. And I'm going to show you the sequences in which you can use them. Okay, so we're going to give you the model, and then we're going to begin teaching you how to craft your message. Okay, because that's how we're going to fill up, I call it the disguise selling frameworks. But it's pretty amazing, actually. We're going to start your message. Okay. And the biggest mistake, I've talked about this before on experts, when you guys, you can throw questions in the chat anytime and I'll answer them. The biggest problem all you guys have, and I know some of you, and when I first working with a client on a one-on-one basis where I'm helping them sell via webinar. So I have a client next week, I'm selling on his webinar. I'm going to do the introduction. He does the content. We laid out this content today. And then guess what? For the last 20, 30 minutes, guess who's doing the sales? I am. And then I'm going to, it's all structured though, properly. Okay. And so it's nothing. When I start working with people, the biggest problem everyone has, this is where I was going with that, is that everybody over educates. You need to point out problems. You need to ask questions that create paradigm shifts. I've talked about this before. And then you need to close. Okay. You need to ask them to take the next step with you. I think it's my wireless as to why my images here are not popping up. I'm gonna check on that when we're done. Day 2, we're going to talk about your getting your offer dialed in. What is the right price point for you for your offer? Is it 3,000, 5,000, 12,000, 18,000, 15,000, 5,000, you know, et cetera, et cetera. We'll go through the whole training. We'll do the math, and then you guys can ask questions on this. Okay. You talk about your business. Okay. The 10 questions your offer presentation must answer that emotionally stack and remove objections. This is really powerful. I use this when I do $1 million interview method. And the reason why you have to have questions through your webinar is it really gives you an outline for your webinar. So we're going to go through the 10 most, or the questions we got to answer. But if you flip it, it gives you the outline. Okay, gives you the outline. You know, so if I'll read over this right now. I'm giving this away next week, so I don't want to give it to you guys fully right now. But I'll walk through it. Okay, so not trying to purposefully hide stuff from you, but I also got to be respectful for people who are jumping in the club, that I'm not just giving everything away. Questions like, tell me who you are and why should I believe you? That's number 1. Tell me who you are and why should I believe you? It's number 1, right? Okay. Why should I believe you? Why should I believe you? So what are you promising me, and why does it solve my pain today, immediately? Why are you qualified to solve my pain? And why should I believe you? It's always going to come back to why should I believe you? But I'll show you like that. The way you answer that I believe you is also a function of creating a paradigm shift, which leads me to, what is your counterintuitive big idea? What is your and you could write this down, guys. I'm not going to go super fast so you can't hear it. What is your counterintuitive super big idea? Is buying a business better than building a business? Why buying a business is better than building a business? Why when you build a business, you should never use your own money, right? That's pretty cool, right? In dentistry, I always use why you should never be talking to unqualified, uneducated patients who have no idea what the fees are, and you know, how to flag your practice with patients that, you know, are qualified, educated, pre-educated, pre-qualified, pre-sold, and they know all the fees. And the first question a doctor would ask is like, well, how do you do that? Right. And then that's where we say, well, what do we do next? Like, why is your method uniquely different than everything else that's already on the marketplace? Okay. And now this is the frame where we say, okay, well, because it answers the first one. I have a framework called attack the enemy. And the enemy is what is traditionally being taught in your marketplace. And so if everybody's teaching, like I like using dentistry because it's an easy one for me, but it's like, well, brand awareness, you got to grow your brand. In every business, this is what people think. Get your name out there. I mean, my wife bumped into a friend of ours who's starting her law firm. She gave my wife 9 business cards. Okay. I just saw them on our kitchen table. The next place those will go is in the trash. Okay. And I thought to myself, I'm like, well, what is Nola supposed to do with these 9 business cards? Unless they're unique, unless they have a call to action, unless there's a purpose to refer them, she's never going to do that. Right. And so, that's what most people do. So it's like, well, hey, when you started your dental practice, here's the thing. And this is true in every industry, by the way. When you started coaching youth sports, when you started strength and conditioning training, when you started being an MMA fighter or gym owner, nobody ever taught you the real world tactics or strategies to do blank. Can you guys all relate to this one? Like nobody ever taught you that. So what ends up happening is that we end up having a situation where you are now an owner of a business, but no one has ever equipped you. You've bought a building, you've bought technology, you have done all the education courses. You spent 6 years through education. You guys get where I'm going with this. You took out all these loans and they took all your money, yet no one ever sat you down and said, it's not about getting your name out there. Here's the counterintuitive big idea, guys. It's not about getting your name out there. It's about getting their names in here. Okay, you see the counterintuitive idea there? Cool. Like, if any of you guys want me to talk about your niche, I'm happy to do it right now. David, I don't even know who you're consulting with right now. Perry, I know you're working with SaaS brands, but it's like SaaS brands feel like their existing bookkeeping team is the same team that's going to help them go from $1 million a year to $10 million a year. Well, no, actually, why your existing team is unequipped to take you to 10 million, 20 million, 30 million. It's not their fault, and it's not your fault for hiring them. In fact, I'll show you exactly how you can keep them on, but also give you the data that you need as you move forward. Like, those are all good reframes of an existing problem that a person has. Okay. And Jody, if you want to ask a question, I'm happy to talk about your thing too. What is the one thing? Here's another question. They have to believe that would make this a no-brainer to buy my product, service, coaching, become a patient. Okay. What is the one thing that they would have to believe? Okay. Now, well, you guys can put in any industry of any single product or any service, and I'll answer it, right? What's the one thing they have to believe? Well, they have to believe that there's got to be a better way to accomplish blank, that their existing thing is not working. And then about your product, service, idea, there's got to be one thing that they believe that's superior than everything else on the marketplace. And they finally uncovered it, and you are the solution. So what is that one thing? Because that's the thing you spend time about. And that is the thing that we focal point our 100K a day method. And that is going to become your chief customer acquisition machine. Okay. So what's the one thing that they can believe, that if they believe it, they will automatically buy your thing? Now, let me give you an example, right? So my wife and I, years ago, my daughter had dyslexia, and we were trying to make it work in the Catholic school that we were in. We love our community, love our church, love the Catholic school. It has its faults. One of its big faults is that it is not equipped to work with kids who have special needs or learning disabilities. And I decided to do everything I possibly could to help the school. And everything we tried to do didn't work. Okay, so the first belief I had to have is like, Ed, they're not equipped to work with Keegan. Okay, nobody's a bad person. It's just fact on the page. Now, the second thing that had to happen was the other options have failed. So I'll give you an example. So all the other options, and you need to know your market's options. Like, what are the things they try doing, right? Right, David? Like in dentistry, they've already tried doing cold mailers to their area, or they've already tried just abdicating responsibility to an office manager to run the practice. And they've already tried doing the case presentation stuff from like somebody who's really charismatic and really knows how to sell. And for most offices or salespeople or doctors, they're not charismatic salespeople. It's not necessarily like those. You're talking about apples and oranges. So then when you come in with a solution to your market, Calvin Bell, what's up, buddy? I'm so glad you're here. When you come with a solution into your market, it's got to be hammering home all the things they've already tried and making those things that they've tried the enemy to what you're preparing for them. So that's that one. Okay. Is this helpful, by the way, guys? Please just post it even in the Q&A, just say yes or raise your hand or ask a question. And let's see here on this. Okay. So number Why is this different than everything else? I've already said that. How do I know this is real? Okay. So we had a guy, we have a guy that was in at one of our events, right? And super bright guy. And so he said, he came up to me at dinner. He signed up for the coaching program, which was really expensive. And he came up to me at dinner and he's like, you know, man, he's like, here's the thing. He's like, I asked like 6 guys who are wearing the inner circle ribbons, their results with the expert. Okay. This expert doesn't want me sharing his name anymore. So we'll keep it slightly private, but, oh, let me just show you guys this. It's all right. Because if you want ongoing training, you're gonna go further. So here's some of the questions right here. How do I know this is real? So I'm gonna take it off. I'll share it again in a second. I just want to, you know, and he said I talked to like 7 or 8 guys. This is really important when you look at your case studies, testimonials. You are always better off having one example of a testimonial that is specific, measurable, has a journey that is comparable to your market, and has gotten very specific results. Okay. So, because if you have like 6 or 7 testimonials that are just like, yeah, Kelvin's a nice guy. He's a really nice guy. I really like him. He's been really nice to my family. That is such a bad testimonial because the person's going to say, this isn't really real. This isn't specific. This doesn't represent me. And this is not the outcome I'm looking for. So you want to make sure you're using real testimonials, real case studies that are specific to what you're promising. Okay. Now I have a solution for when you don't have that, just so you know. The next thing on that though is that for my webinars, when I'm working with a client, I like looking at their case studies and their testimonials. And I use something that I learned back in my NLP days. I'm gonna use the word range of all possibilities. But if you look at a really good infomercial that from somebody that's been around for a long time, you'll notice that they have a young man, a older female, a African-American person, and maybe a female African person. Then there's a older Chinese guy, and then they go through all the different range of possibilities. And if we're selling like how to make money with a new opportunity, they have people that have never had a business before. They have people that have been in business for 40 years, and they're just trying to do a range of all possibilities so that you're covering a lot of different avenues, so that you're giving yourself like casting a big net. You're giving yourself a more opportunity to pull it in, but you're not casting a wide offer because your offer wants to be tight to a specific solution. But you are showing how different types of businesses that is your ideal level 10 target market. We're going to go over that on day 2 and day 1. It's going to be the core tip of the spear that I teach and I hammer home. If we can do that, you're going to have higher conversion rates because people are going to say, wow, that person relates to me, and they want to be like that person. They want to idolize that person. They want to model that person. Now, if you are the case study, then good. You're a good case study. It's even more believable when it's you. Now, when you get your first, when you don't have any testimonials yet, then you might be letting people know the reason why I'm launching this coaching program, because this is a good question. It's already come in. Like, what do I do when I don't have any case studies or testimonials? Well, you could either give your stuff away free. I don't like doing that because if you know your stuff and you think you're good, create a price point. And I recommend you create a price point that you can say this is 2/3 less what I'm going to be selling it for. So if I'm going to be charging $10,000, I'm selling this for you for $3,000. Or say it's $5,000, I'm going to do $2,500 or $1,500, or maybe I'm going to give you a grant where it's $5,000 and you're only paying $1,000. You see all these different unique creative ways to do this, guys. So this is the kind of stuff that you can get access to while working together on the 5-day challenge that I'm doing next week. Okay, just letting you know that. So like next week, 5-day challenge for anyone. Kelvin, I know you just jumped on. I stopped at the 10 questions. Okay, your offer in presentation must answer that emotionally stacks and removes objections. So you start seeing how all those questions start layering on top of each other, right, guys? So the other thing is the number one goal of your offer and event. It's like, this is something that we'll cover on, like when you're creating an offer, what is the goal of it? And what I've also found is one of the biggest mistakes I see expert making is that they're trying to give them the whole race course. But we just got to get the saddle on the horse and get a jockey on there. You see what I mean? Those are two different things. Like you got a racehorse of an idea, an offer, or whatever it might be, and you got a jockey. Does the jockey ride on a saddle? Yes or no? Does he know that? No. Does he know how to put it on? No. Well, step one is we're going to get the saddle on the horse. And then step two, we're going to teach the jockey how to ride the horse. Now, let's just say he already knows how to do it. Then we got to make sure we know what the pathway is. And then we got to set him in the direction. If you try and make him into a Kentucky Derby champion out of the gate, you're just going to lose him. You're going to lose him. Like we have an event coming up now, like next week, we have a webinar with a client that the only goal of the webinar, the only goal is to make them problem aware that they can go find, like, this is the right solution, kind of what we talked about in the 10 questions, right? Where's my 10 questions at, right? What is the one thing I have to get them to believe? The entire webinar is around one belief system. That's it. One belief system about one idea. I need to go identify, I'm going to make up something here because I'm not going to give away my guy's niche right now on this call. But like, for example, Perry deals with SaaS companies, right? David, I think you deal with dentists. And, you know, like what's the one thing I got to get them to convince and prove through solving that one thing for them that they'll want to continue working with me because I have a solution that they're unaware of, right? And so the whole webinar and the first offer we're making to them is around one core principle idea. If we can help them solve that one core principle idea, guys, they will buy everything from you. Okay. Your business will become so effortless in how you sell because you've already annihilated the first domino. Okay. So Ed, I know there's more on day 2 we're going to cover. There's more questions. I can get to more questions if you want. But on day 3, we're going to go over what is the outline of the $100,000 day presentation. Okay. For now, we'll just call it a free masterclass. That's the terminology I like using. I don't like telling people they're coming on a free webinar. Some people don't know what webinars are. Some people equate webinars with straight up selling. I like to do a free masterclass. Now, if I was selling, medical device stuff, or if I was selling something like that, I may call it a webinar or a live training. I would keep it that simple. For patients, I might say it's a patient awareness training, free training on how to end the suffering of dental implants or dentures, missing teeth, and irritable, crooked, teeth, and you can't eat your steak and all that stuff. I'm really good at that stuff. I love that stuff. I create offers like that. So, but that's the one core thing. So then we'll create the outline, right? The outline is going to be, you guys, the outline's not difficult. We need to walk through it. Okay. You have to answer all questions during the outline, but you need to cover a couple things. And the couple things you got to do is you got to come up with your counterintuitive big idea. I'm going to read these out. I think I have my client's notes in here, so I don't want to give them all to you. You got to have your counterintuitive big idea. Okay. Number one, you can write that down. That is the first thing. The intro has to lead into the counterintuitive big idea. Number two is, depending on your market or niche or the sequence, like if I have a lot of social proof, and I'm going to say, in a moment, I'm going to tell you my story. But before I do, I need you to realize that this is going to work for other people in your industry or in this. Like, let me tell you about Susie. Let me tell you about Jake. Let me tell you about Flavio, right? I'm making all these names up, right? And so the reason why that's super duper important is because it gets off the, of course he could do it, but I can't do it. That's the number one objection they're going to have doing it. First two questions are, why is this different, unique, and whatever? Second question you gotta answer is, they want to know, should they be doing this for their business or their life or their whatever? Number three is, will this work for me? And if we got to get that objection out of the way right away, because if they look at you and they're like, wow, he's ripped, he's gorgeous, she's 63 and she looks like she's 32 and she's been a supermodel, it'll never work for me. Well, the first thing I do is be like, hey, before I even tell you my story, let me share a couple of my client stories. And then you hammer out the range of possibilities. I already covered that. Okay. So the next thing you got to cover is your hero's journey. Okay. Like your journey. And then we go through a form of your hero's journey with a problem, agitate the problem, the struggling, the suffering, everything that you went through, your breakthrough, when it came, why it shifted how you were doing things or how you taught things, all those things, and then we move into the solution and how that solution changed your life and how it radically changed everybody else's life. For me, every business I ever had, that once it took off, it was a function of realizing that we created a presentation / sales message around an idea that once we were able to optimize that, man, we didn't have just $100,000 days. We had, I had $30,000 days, $50,000 days for weeks on end, right? And when you do something like that, it'll blow you away. But really, you don't need that. You need $10,000 a day. You need $5,000 a day. You need to go, oh wow, we ran this live training, and now I just made a few $1,000 or a $50,000 sale. But now I got 980 leads coming through, going through number 2, number 3, number 4 asset, which I'll talk about at the end of the call today. Okay. But you go through your hero's journey and your story. Now, then you sequence into something that I call, why is this the most important opportunity that you could ever have right now? And the reason why I use that framework is because what? Well, everybody's job is, I'll get to this later. No, you can't get to it later, because you know what's going to happen? You are going to miss the biggest opportunity of a lifetime right now. Or this deal, frankly, is not always going to be at this thing. Once I get I'm going back to the case studies. Once I get 5 case studies of successful testimonials, my price is going from $3,000 to $10,000. Why should you be hiring me right now? Because guess what? I'm making a transition. I'm only working with coaching clients in a group format. And so where people typically pay $500 an hour, they can now join my mastermind at $500 a month or $5,000 a month, whatever it might be for you. But are you guys tracking me on how these breakthroughs in these simple frameworks really, really, really make a world of a difference? Okay. Is this for you? You got to answer, is this for you? You got to cover it early in the presentation, and then later in the presentation, you get like, well, by now I've already shared my story. I told you why this is the greatest opportunity. But the one question you're probably asking is this for you? And then you got to say, well, this is the people that have had success with this. These are the people that I love working with. These are the people who seem to get results really, really quickly. Okay. And then you list out that's one of the things we'll go through in the workshop, is like this is where your level 10 clients, you'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom. Current, like one of the clients I'm working with right now, does it work for existing business owners? Yes, it works for existing business owners. Does it work for people who have never started a business? Yeah, it actually could work better for people that have worked in it. You just have to have this skill, and that skill. Does it work for any people that have tried investments in different fields? Yeah, in fact, real estate investors understand the idea of buying a business right away. Okay, you see how that works? So I'm happy to do some stuff for you guys on your different types of businesses, like with Perry and stuff like that. He wants to work with SaaS businesses doing over $2 million. Does it work for somebody who's doing $500,000? No, it doesn't necessarily work on the coaching level, but you can. One of the things we recommend to people that are doing this is a downsell, $500,000 or so a year, is that they hire Perry for a VIP day. That's $10,000, where we're going to create a whole year's game plan to get them up to the 2 million mark, to the when we'd be able to take them to the next level. That's how it works, man. This is how we do things around here. I mean, this is how it's done right here. Okay, so from that point on, everybody wants to know, well, how do I teach them how to do it? Yeah. And the answer is no. Because, and it's not because you're being teasing, by the way. You're not trying to be teasing. You're actually educating them on the right things. What I always like doing is saying, before we start working together, here's a couple things that most people do wrong, and I want to make sure you're avoiding these mistakes. And then the reason why that's so important, that frame, is that it's easy for you to answer as you learn how to do this and do your presentation. It's easy for you to learn how to do it. And the reason why it's easy to do it is because you're already doing it. You already know how to do it, right? And there might be some, we may, like on our training calls together, we may go through a couple of things and say like, well, Ed, what are you seeing that I'm not seeing? Like, the other mistake you guys make a lot is you're very feature oriented. Like, we're going to do this audit, and on the audit, we're going to give you the Excel sheet that your team's going to fill out. Like, oh, puke, like puke, awful languaging. Where I would say something like, hey, I'm going to give you the no-think real-time cheat sheet that is going to allow everybody to have crystal clarity in a matter of 30 minutes. Do you see the difference in that framework? Most experts use the first framework. Okay, we're going to give you like most doctors, when they teach like how to get dental implants or what dental implants are in their seminars, they start talking about how the drill goes into, or the implant goes into the bone, and we drill it in. Zzz, zzz. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, we effortlessly and painlessly put the implant right into your jawbone. It'll be great. Goes right in. We use our AI super software that we have pre-programmed, so it's totally easy. It's better than human beings, and it works, and it'll be amazing. It'll be in your teeth perfect. Like, that's what they want to know. Like, can I eat steak later? Is it going to be, how painful is it going to be, and how fast is it going to take, and how costly is this going to be? That's what they want to know, guys. So, like, you know, let's not be ridiculous and kill these people, right? So after you go through all the mistakes, then you're going to say, here's what to do instead. And this is where you give your frameworks. Here's my 3 steps, my 5 steps, my 1 step, or, you know, and I could go through different things like, hey, instead of doing cardio, you're doing high intensity workouts. Okay. The mistake people do is when they're trying to lose weight, they only do cardio. And really what's happening is you think you're going to burn more fat. You get a small little gain, but you're not producing any muscle. You lose your body structure. Like, this is how you do the contrast and the gap in their brain, so that they really see that there's a bridge that they need help with, and you're that bridge. Okay. The better you do this, write this down. This is not hard. This is not hard. You could literally steal my words and just use it until you get your own words to crank it up. Does that make sense? And then here's what we do instead. And you teach them that thing. And you already know the education piece. You just got to make sure you don't go too far in the weeds where you lose people, so that they have too long of a checklist. So they're in to-do mode. This is why you don't educate. It's not to tease them. It's that without mentoring, people will do it wrong. And that's the framework you got to believe, is that without a model, and without proximity, and without mentoring, people will do the whole darn thing wrong. It's not like, you guys got to really understand this, that your job when you're doing the first masterclass training, you do want to educate them. Like, here's the 5 pillars of growing a practice. Here's the number 1 way to unleash the cash flow in your SaaS business. Robert, I don't even know what niche you're supporting, but you could pop it in there at any time. Al, I don't know yours either, but it's like when I worked in supplements, like with we sold Marine D3, we still do. When we were with people with high blood pressure, they had to realize that it wasn't because their arteries were clogged. It was because they had hyperinflammation in their arteries, which was creating hardening of the arteries, which was spiking the blood pressure. Does that make sense? So if we can get them to believe that that's first of all, the primary issue. It's hyperinflammation in the body, which leads to increases in type 2 diabetes, increases in Alzheimer's, increases in all those things. If we can get them to believe that, then they realize the key culprit to attack is inflammation, and that really the big pharma is medication. There was actually a great story where we hired a doctor to come in, that the medication that they were testing had an anti-inflammatory component to it, but it led to oh yeah, I thought it was Fitness Buddy. Okay, gotcha. It led to, what do you call it, guys? All the side effects. Sorry, we have a lot of pings coming in. It led to all the side effects, and so the reason why they want to do supplements is to alleviate their side effects. So they have to believe that there's a solution that's natural. It does not have side effects that can reduce the inflammation or lower their blood pressure. And once we were able to get that message down, I mean, my business did 30 million in 1 year. You know, it just took off, right? And so, anyhow, so that's kind of what we're talking about. Like, can we align some of those pieces up for you so that we can get the paradigm shift? And then after that paradigm shift is there, now, could I have spent the next hour educating on, like, step 1, make sure you wake up in the morning, you meditate. Step 2, go in the sauna. Step 3, walk 20 minutes. Step 4, drink this amount of water. Yeah, but if they don't get coaching, they're not going to do it. If they don't buy the supplement, they're not going to do it. We know that you need a mentor, you need a mastermind, you need a model, and you need coaching and a map. You need a map. You need those checklists. On their own, they're going to fail. So the reason why you don't over-educate is because if I give them that 21-step checklist to walk away with, they are going to fail, guys. Okay? That's why we teach, and that's why we run masterminds. That's why the info marketing business is $1 billion business, because people, even with everything you can get for free on YouTube, people want proximity to an expert, because they know with proximity, it goes back to the speed, is that you can time collapse things much faster. Okay. Cool. Okay. So the next one is, okay, so after that, here's what to do instead. So you go through all this, and then you ask them, and you say, look, I'm going to open up to questions in a moment. Before I do that, I want to talk about resources and opportunities with you. How many of you feel comfortable saying to somebody, I'd like to talk to you about resources and opportunities? Because as you know, I developed a program that'll be in the intro. I developed a program called the 100K Day Method, right? Where we show experts, coaches, consultants, and any other high-paid professionals who want to sell more in 1 day, and they do in a full year, right? Without being salesy, pushy, or unprofessional, how to only speak to warmed up, pre-qualified clients. Okay. I'd like to have the opportunity to walk you through the system over 5 days. Okay. So in those 5 days, I'm going to cover 5 big tenets, right? And it's going to be, number 1, we're going to get your $1 million message. Number 2, we're going to go over the math and the model. I flipped those a little bit. Number 3, we're going to go over the offer and the pricing. Number 4, we're going to talk about the perfect framework, the $1 million 100 outline for you, so that you know how to do a signature speech in any environment, both virtual, face-to-face, live. One of the most famous people of all time is a guy by the name of Chet Holmes. And Chet said that if I unleash you right now to go speak to 1,000 of your ideal prospects, would you be able to do that speech flawlessly? And even myself, I'd raise my hand. I'd say, well, it wouldn't be flawless. I'd be making mistakes. And so I'm working to flawless, which is why we're doing 3 to 4 webinars a week right now until I get my webinars flawless, because they're not. Trust me, I'm judging myself on my last ones, and I'm reviewing them, and I'm looking at what we could do better, and we're going to tighten them up and get better and better and better and better until that asset becomes something you can automate and drive traffic to directly. And that's the goal with every single client I work with. Like, I want an asset that works for you 24/7, 365, so that when you go on vacation with your family, sales, clients, patients, whatever it might be, are coming in saying, yes, I'm ready to go. Yes, I'm ready to go. So if I sell a $5,000 thing every single day, we've done the math. If we get 50 leads, we get a sale. So let's get 50 leads, we get a sale. 50 leads, we get a sale. So I can grow that business to $150,000 a month very, very quickly with a mathematical equation that my media team, my agency, and all these people that I'm hiring on to do adjunct work to accelerate my success can understand. The secret is you can do everything else, but if you don't have the message dialed in, you'll never be able to create a 100K a day process. It just doesn't work like that. Okay. So I just want to make sure you're fully aware of that. So that's kind of my pitch, right? See how I'm just going through it right now. And so after you go through your pitch, the one thing you're gonna do is be like, well, what's the pricing on it? Well, the pricing on it is, for us, like, I'll just go to our page real quick. I went over this the other day on our live training, that, there we go. All right, is it sharing? Yeah, it's sharing right now. So I went over that the other day on our live training that, the pricing on it, you have a few options. You have the Platinum Plus experience, which is $497. And these are all the bullet points you get, right? You don't need we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You don't need more than 8 bullet points. I have 10 here. It's too many. Because this is redundant. How to sell premium priced offers to get to better clients faster. That's kind of redundant. Like, it doesn't, I've already talked about that in the sales page, so I don't need to do that. There's a little redundancy in the Q&A stuff. I got to clean that up. But here's what you got. You got $497, $297, and $97, right? So what that means is that for most, like even Robert, you're doing fitness and health. You might have a $55 offer, Robert, because fitness and health might be like, if you're doing all virtual, like, if it's a supplement, there may be a lower end offer. People are kind of used to that. But you don't have to. Like, you can have a 97, 297, 497 model. And even with a client I'm working with right now, like, we're testing 497, 797, and 997 because of the sophistication of the market that we want to cover. Because we're going to sell a $7,500 to $50,000 thing on the back end. I don't want a bunch of people that only spend $97 on the training with him. Okay. Because it's just, let's find better buyers. Okay. So this is our sequence. And after you get done writing the copy, which we're going to walk through in the 5-day challenge, after you get done writing the copy, you literally want to have, I don't have it here because I'm just doing this, and Ask Me Anything today, but you literally want to have it, like, when you're doing a training, you want to have it written out for you. Okay. So like right now, if I stop my share, I can have in the background, you guys can't see this, but I can have in my background, if I want, a Word doc that I literally be like, just watch this, guys, watch this. Well, I'll go over frequently asked questions. Let me show you this real quick. This is some ninja stuff. So once I figure out, say, like, who does this work for? I don't show that. I won't show that. I would just be like, okay, so who does this work for? Right now, watch this. I'm going to click the other screen. So right now I'm looking at the screen. So who is that? Watch this though. It's like, okay, so before I open up to questions, let me answer a couple of the most commonly asked questions that keep coming in. Like, who's the 100K payday challenge for? Well, the 100K payday challenge is for entrepreneurs, experts, course creators, consultants, coaches with products and services. They like to sell more. Now, I don't know about you, but like, I haven't runs that sell more. Like kinds who want to do leverage potatoes, so way more important than you when listing out who it is for. Okay. And so, so I just want to make sure you guys are aware of that. And it's really just, I was just reading that. Okay. And so that is really a strong, powerful way to just, you don't have to be perfect, but pros will type out and get all their stuff out, and we can work on this together in the training. And then obviously some of the guys in the group are part of my more higher level coaching where I'll pitch it for you. If you can get leads on your call, I'm happy to do that at a certain price point in a coaching relationship with people. But we script it out so that I'm not trying to rely on my memory when I do this. Now, will there be a time where you get so good that you never have to script it out? And the answer is absolutely. But there's no way in greener pastures that you could be 100% perfect on your first time pitching, or your second or third or fifth, right? And so that's why we want to script it out to the best of our abilities. So I'm going to open to questions right now. I have a list of questions I want to answer that came in. And I want to tell you guys a couple things. Like, number one is, if you are not signed up for the 5-day challenge, you're missing out. And the reason I share that is because, number one, is I believe in this. Number two, it is the fastest way to grow your business with good, high quality customers and clients and patients. There's no better way. I don't care if you think you're not good on camera. I don't care if you think you don't look good on camera. I don't care what your excuse is. There is no better way than putting people in a micro event that's time-based for you to do it. Now, there's a bunch of reasons for this. Let me just put my charger in. Is that there is power in numbers. Okay. There's power in numbers, whether it's 3, 10, 30, 300, 3,000, there's power in numbers. What I mean by that is that there's safety in numbers there. And so from a perspective of like, have you guys ever gone to a church you're like new to, or gone to a meeting or something where like you're at a seminar or something, and there's a row, it's completely empty, and there's one person in the front row. Like, or there's the front row, it's completely empty, and there's one person there, and there's nobody in the second row, there's nobody in the third row, but then the rest of the seminar is packed. Where do you go sit? You don't go sit in the front row by yourself. So the whole world's looking at you, right? Because you think like you have something wrong with you, or it's a little awkward. You go look a little bit in the back. You're looking for a safe place to sit, so you can scope it out. Now, there's the 1% that's like, no, I'm going to sit right front and center, right in the front thing. Hi, everybody, I'm here. Boom. Sometimes my wife will be like, when we go to church, she'll be like, we got 7 kids, and to make them behave well, we sit right in the front row. I don't like to sit in the front row personally, but you know, again, like I have that same thing. I think it's just a simple insecurity, right? But you're looking for safety. So that's for your prospect. Now, Al, I'm gonna answer that right in a second, buddy. And then, and are there replays? Yeah, I'm gonna answer that. But number 2 is, for you, there's safety in numbers. For you, there is safety in numbers. The dirty little secret is that if you run a webinar or a live event or an Ask Me Anything and nobody buys, the only person who knows is you. And guess what? It is the best way for you to like work through some things and have no, no rejection. Nobody in this format can reject you, right? It's totally different than sitting with somebody at coffee at a breakfast place. If you're selling high-end stuff, it's totally different if there's a patient in your chair and you're now telling them the fee. It's totally different if you're, you know, whatever it might be. You guys get what I'm saying, right? They come to your office, you're like, okay, it's $5,000. And they're like, yeah, let me think about it. What? Think about what, right? Now I can take that same person, stick them in a live training, or whether it's Facebook or Zoom or virtual or live. Take that same person, put them in a group of 10 people, and then I can hit every objection from stage. Okay. For those of you that still want to think about it, let me tell you about something right now, is that the true cost of you not doing this now, you probably think is the $1,000 I'm charging. All right, I'm going into a sales framework. I'm going to teach you how to do this. The true cost is that I'm charging $497 for this 5-day challenge, right? But let me ask a question. How many of you really want to have, when's the last time you did $100,000 a day? Most people aren't going to raise their hand. Okay, cool. So really what you're telling me is nobody in this room knows how to do it, right? Right. And if we were able to give you $100,000 a day every single month, what's the number on that? 1.2 million? Cool. How many generated 1.2 million from $100,000 days last year, or doing live trainings last year? Okay. No, okay, cool. So how much did you generate? Well, I generate 30,000, I generate 300,000. Okay. So the real cost of not jumping in this is not $500 or $5,000 or $15,000. The real cost is that if you generate $100,000 and your potential is 1.2 million, the real cost is $1 million or $1.1 million that you're missing out on, because life keeps moving, but you haven't moved forward yet. That's the real cost of you not moving forward and taking action, putting a thing on your calendar and committing to getting this done, committing to get 20 leads in your sequence, committing to get 10% conversion rate and getting 2 people to buy. Remember earlier when I was using that 1% conversion rate stuff? 1% conversion rate is not what we're after, guys. We are after 5%, 10%, 20%. Small things like this, when I only have a small bunch of people on the call, I'm looking for 50 to 60%. I'm going for 100%, right? And then we have a follow-up sequence that I'll teach you as well that is going to give you the tools to do it. But there is no rejection in this, because no, you're not allowing people to reject you. They're rejecting an opportunity that they just should realize that it's costing them $1 million, 1.1 a year of not taking advantage of it. That's the cost. The $5,000 of someone hiring you is not the cost. $5,000 is a simple ticket for them to get the opportunity to generate $300, $500 million. Do you guys like that framework? Do you see how that's different? And if they don't know the real cost, this is on my 10 questions list. Are they aware of the real cost? All right, Rich, see, you jumped in. Cool. I'm gonna ask you a question right now. If they don't know the real cost of not working with you, then they'll never say yes, right? And so, like, let me go over another framework. So another framework is like, okay, for those of you who are thinking like you're not really sure this is right for you, let me keep talking for a moment. What if you do this and it doesn't work, right? You're simply going to be in the same place you currently are. The only difference is now you've generated more leads, and then you've also warmed up more people who might buy. And the next thing that's true is that you've also now put yourself in a position to where you learned more. And so now you can accelerate to the next piece really quickly. And the only way you're going to fail at this, by the way, is because you've chosen to quit on it, because this is a proven system. Like I said before, I got guys this week generating $330,000 from the system. I have a client this month doing 5 new clients at $65,000 from this system. I have a buddy of mine who's got 10,000 leads on a webinar that they're going to be launching Sunday from this system. Like this is happening. It's working in every imaginable business. It's not a question of if it works, it's a matter of, are you going to have the patience and tenacity to make it work? And are you willing to close the gap by modeling somebody who's done it, modeling somebody that's doing it, and modeling somebody that has the perspective across multiple different clients who are in multiple different industries, so that your niche or industry doesn't really matter. I can teach you exactly how to customize it for your niche or industry. You see where I'm going with this, guys? Like, it doesn't matter. It's not about whether it works. It's about whether you want to work it for your business. Okay. So let me answer a couple questions. And if I went off on a tangent on that, so Al Rice asked, Rich, I'm going to answer your question in a second. Al Rice asked me about like, when is it, and are there recordings for our challenge? The answer is we're going to run it every single day It's going to go at 1 p.m. is the general admission training. So everybody's going to go 1 to 2 p.m. every single day across the board. The only exception of that for this group, it might change if I use this as a record in the future, is on Friday. And the reason is because I'm with a private client on that. So I will announce the times on Friday once you're registered and in. And then I have some unannounced bonuses on what we're going to do on Saturday as well. The reality is we're going to record all of it. Okay, you're going to get recordings. You're going to get instant access to our Facebook group, where I already have a live training on there right now. And there's other bonuses that are going up in there right now. So who asked that question? It was Helvin, or Al asked me it. And then Al asked one more question on that. The platinum members get a bonus hour along with VIP every single day. And the platinum members get an invite to a networking night where we actually will go through, like, what are the issues you're dealing with? What do you need? What type of relationship are you like? Who would, this is how I set that up. I go, hey, listen, in this time together, if you needed to make an extra $250,000, what are the 3 resources you need, and who are the 3 types of people you'd like to meet? I always do this in my live events, and it works like freaking gangbusters. It is the most powerful frame. And then it's a networking session that I facilitate. Okay. And the reason why I do it that way is because it ensures that people know how to network properly, that people are giving in the room. And you guys will like working with me. It's all about, the more you give, the more the room is going to pour back into you. If I only see takers in the room, like if you're just a taker, if you're somebody who comes to events and you're like, I just want to take, blah, 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 blah. I don't like people, don't need new friends. Ed's a dork, but I'm going to go take his information. Like, don't buy this. Don't be a student of mine. I come from a big family, 13 kids. My wife and I have 7 kids. We have a very family environment with everything we ever do. So please, like, like, you're not a fit for me. Trust me. I want you to come to live trainings. Platinum members go into a drawing to do an event at my house. We're going to be doing live events every month in Tampa because my daughter goes to Tampa now. And so my clients become my friends, and our mission is that they say that the only person in their life is going to ever want you to succeed more than themselves is your father, right? And let me first say that phrase again. There's only going to be one man in their life who's going to want you to succeed more than themselves, and that's their dad. Now, I can't argue with that at all. I can't say I can't argue with that. I go, but like, I have a few friends in my life that I know for a fact they're rooting for me to succeed, even if it's 10 times more than them. See what I mean? Like, they're not limiting my progress because of where they're currently at, right? And my greatest gift and dream would be to see my kids far surpass anything their dad ever does, right? We all want that for our children. But maybe you haven't experienced this yet, but I'm a mentor and consultant and friend and a coach. Like, this is my life. I love seeing people succeed. I work with all Division I athletes, right? And I work with all levels, but like my team, the team I just coached, finished 3rd in the country, all Division I athletes. I wasn't a Division I athlete, right? So I want my clients blowing away anything that I could ever do. I mean, I have dream clients right now, guys, that are some of the most impressive people in the world, and they have so much success in business that I'll never have. I have a client right now that's bought dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of businesses, owns, $100 million worth of real estate. And like, I'll never have that. I mean, knock on wood, and guess, unless the grace of God says, actually, I'm going to change your life plan. I'm going to spread your territory in this way. But I get thrilled and excited to see people succeed. So I have no idea why I just shared that. Oh, that's the environment we like to create. Okay, Rich, let me just answer your questions. Number 1 problem is the leads. Yep, I can't stand it. Cold calling, canvassing flyers, posting in Facebook groups. Next door, Google Lisa, and just want to fast forward to the sales call. Okay. but I run a cleaning business. I'm new to the remote cleaning business. Well, okay, so like you come in, Rich, you guys come in and actually like clean houses or do like carpet cleaning. I have to be always hiring new cleaners and selling new jobs, new to all this and overwhelmed for sure. I do not know many people in my service area, like 2 people. Okay, so let me give you my first response, bud, and then you could always got it. You could always, we can go deeper on this, right? But here's the number one thing is like okay, Joe Polish made this famous years ago. So what I'm about to say is like a consumer awareness model is your model, right? Like, so when I talk about it, I don't know if you're in the beginning of this training, Rich, I'm going to post it and you can rewatch it. I use a lot of examples about dentists, right? Because I used to help dentists, local business all the time. What I'm going to share with you is exactly the same thing they're doing, but it's also the same exact thing I'm doing. And it's the same exact thing that I recommend coaches do. Like, so, I'll stick to the dental model, for example, because it's a direct to consumer model. Direct to consumer, I've sold supplements for many, many years. You know, how to choose the right blank without making blank mistake. Okay. Okay. So how to choose, I'm gonna just pretend you're a carpet cleaner, bro. Hopefully you don't take that the wrong way if you're not, which I love carpet cleaners. I mean, we all need cleaners. There's my little twin Ireland in the background. I have no idea where it is, honey. So how to choose 10 questions you must ask before you ever even think about hiring a XYZ, right? It could be carpet cleaner. It could be restoration person. It could be before you ever hire a developer, before you hire a landscaping company, which usually that's through a word of mouth, but that's the most beautiful thing is that when people are new to the area, who do they ask? Well, guess what? They get an ad across their local area. You get a list of people. You run some YouTube ads or Facebook ads targeting your area. And next thing you know, you got people opting in. You put them on a recorded message like the ones you're on right now, which this isn't recorded, this is live. But you take that as like every Thursday, Rich, our owner, as phone calls are coming in, they have questions, right? Well, hey, every Thursday there's a live call, live Zoom call, or I have a recording from last week. I'm happy to text it over to you right now. It comes in a YouTube link and it's got our phone number in there and I can book you on a call and I can get you scheduled. Watch this first. So like, for example, when I work with sales teams, I always tell them like, I don't want you talking to people for more than 3 to 5 minutes that haven't watched our presentation. And the reason is because you could do 3 to 5 minutes of gaining rapport, a little bit of pre-qualification. Well, what are you looking for? Da, 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 da. Okay, cool. I'm going to send you over this video. It's 12 minutes long and it's going to explain exactly how we can help you. It's going to explain our pricing. It's going to show you some testimonials. It's going to have all these questions that everybody asks me on a daily basis. And after you watch it, I'll just text me back or when I can call you, or I'll text you to say if this is a good time and we'll get you on the calendar and get you started right away. Now, here's the coolest thing, Rich. You don't have to be the person closing that deal. Like the coolest thing is if you have that sales mechanism called a YouTube video, I could have an assistant or a VA when the calls come in and be like, hey, this is Susie from XYZ Remote Cleaning. How can I help you? Like, hey, I was looking to get a carpet cleaning. You guys, this works in every business. We just did this to fill our last event because they were just putting them on scheduled phone calls. And I was getting on calls as I was building out the marketing system. I could talk about that later, but I was just getting on calls with people to help them. And well, I needed to understand what the questions were. But once I know all the questions, I'm recording that crap and we are using an autopilot thing, right? That's why my $1 million interview method became so successful with people, is because all your best prospects have the same 10 questions, right? So why are you doing one-on-one sales when you could be doing one-on-many sales, right? That's the first paradigm shift that's got to be in your head. Okay, guys? And I'm not beating anybody up. I love you guys. Like, this one breakthrough is what totally shifted my whole life. Because I was doing one-on-one, like I was a motivational speaker. I was selling my time for money, man. You're stuck in the time for money trap, and you're stuck in the grind trap. And the reason why we want to jump on the call with people is because we think that's going to accelerate the sale. The myth, though, is that that doesn't accelerate the sale. That hurts the sale. Because in that position, they are above you, because you're the salesperson. They are the prospect. They're the one with the money. What you need to do is say, look, oh, I'm not sure if we're the best fit for you. I'd love to help you. You're what area? Oh, we have a lot of happy customers there. Not a problem. What are you looking for? Oh, this, and this. Well, what's your pricing? Well, we have different pricing for different things. What I'd love to do, Mrs. Jones, is our owner, Rich C., who founded our program, who designed our whole business. He did this little mini training. It's 12 minutes long. Do you have 12 minutes? Because once you watch this, not only are you going to see why we're different than everybody in the neighborhood, but you are going to realize that why we're super busy and why all your neighbors in the area want to hire us or whatever, like why we're priced the way we are. And here's the best part. And then go benefit. We make sure that after we come in, your place looks, our reps show up looking professional. They're going to wow you away. Our new technology is going to blow you away. Do you mind if I just send you the YouTube link? Do you ever watch videos on YouTube? Do you know how to work that? Oh, yes, I love that. Okay, great. I'm going to send this to you. It's 12 minutes long. And you're going to see everything about it that you need to know in order to make a good decision if we're a good fit for you. Okay. And then I'm happy to put you on the calendar. Does that work for you, Mrs. Jones? Yeah. And if you still have questions after that, I mean, Rich is happy to talk to you, but we just found that our customers like this better. And then Rich, man, if you do that right, is that helpful for everybody on the call? I love it. How do I take the hours of daily focus and dedication I pour into skateboarding, skiing, art, redirect that into boring work? I know, man. So the leads part, because what's happening there, bro, is you're spending time on what's not your core gift. I bet you're awesome for one, like your presentation's awesome. But I bet the idea of like spending time dealing one-on-one and time sitting, the time waiting, the time preparing, the time following up is like, oh my mother of goodness, what are we doing? And that is why, the 100K day method will just save you from all that, bro, because it'll just open up free time. Once you automate everything, you'll be able, and that's what we're going to cover on day 5, is you're going to be able to scale through automation and leveraged with people like VAs. I'm afraid to put this on the thing, but my best employee is a VA. Absolutely destroys it. Hopefully that was helpful. Oh, Ben Greenfield's a friend of mine. Yeah, bro. Rich said, I met Joe Polish 4 years ago. I was waiting tables. It was him and Ben Greenfield. Yeah. Rich said, am I doing another live call? I actually have one scheduled for Sunday. But I'm gonna probably today's call has been pretty good. So I'm definitely gonna be automating this. So this is the training for the 100K day 5-day challenge. I just popped it in. It's okay that you did right late, bro. I'm gonna post this to YouTube tonight, and then this will be up for the next 2 days. And everybody I'll email this out, but we're going to be launching on Monday, everybody. Launching on Monday, we're going to have 2 hours if you're in platinum, 1 hour if you are in general admission. We're going to have bonus platinum networking night. It's going to be pretty amazing for everybody. So, all right, Robert Fowler, what's up, brother? Okay. This question, maybe putting the cart before the horse. That's okay. I like hearing people say, I might be putting the cart before the horse, because like everybody wants to know about leads, but the reason why you're mad about leads right now is because you don't have enough, your conversion mechanism's not working. Okay. Like if you spent the next 30 to 60 days, 90 days dedicated to mastering the art of the 100K day method, and then the follow-up sequences, or Ask Me Anything, our unannounced bonus campaign, which I'm not going to be teaching next week, guys. Sorry. and then using some of our cleanup method. I'll give you a hint. The unannounced bonus campaign is only with my elite coaching clients because it involves me doing the pitch for you, where I come in as an unannounced bonus after you've done your pitch. And let's say the thing tanks for you. Well, then what we do is we figure out what is a bonus. What are 3 bonuses that are more valuable than everything you're selling? Write that down. What is, because I just gave you guys $1 million tip. What is a bonus that is more valuable than anything you're currently selling? So Rich right now is saying, Ed, I don't know, I do home cleaning. And I'd say, do people that own homes have fences? Yes. Do people that own homes go out to their favorite restaurants? Yes. I'm thinking in my head, are you guys starting to go with your little jogger there in your brain? Because I own a home. We got a new fence 7 years ago. So right now, guess what? I'm looking for a new fence. I have a porch that needs to get done. So do people who own homes need to get their porches up? Yep. Do people who own homes have sport courts they put in? Yep. Do people who have homes have different amenities, right? So now you can have a buyer's club where you go to your favorite restaurant. So one of my favorite restaurants, Baracco's. I go to Nick Baracco, who owns 5 different restaurants. Hey, Nick. I'm in 5 homes every day, right? What if we did a co-op program, or what would you like to be in my VIP program where people that are in the neighborhood get to be a part of, get $50 credit towards your thing. And I'll pay $25 per home, but you extend $50 or something like that. Yeah, no problem. Or actually, and it doesn't even matter, Rich. Most guys will be like, yeah, because they're going to acquire a new customer. I would say to them, like, what would make you comfortable? And then, so what you end up doing is an unannounced bonus where you say, look, when you sign up for our home cleaning services in this month, right? By Sunday, you get these 10 credits to these different people. Fence company, I mean, obviously a hot tub company, and you go to local businesses because that's the way to do it. Now, if I was Robert Fowler, who deals with 15 older health people, what you do is you go to other established affiliates or people that are already in the business and would love, and then you can use those as affiliate offers, Robert. So you get paid every time you make a referral. It's another way to make money. Okay. So that's one of the ways you do it. That's one of the ways you do it, guys. That's one of the ways you do it. So there's so many ways to make this work. It's not as hard as people make it out to be. Okay. And then the reason why everyone thinks they need leads is because this mechanism isn't working. And so once you get this mechanism working, it's mind blowing. You know what I mean? In fact, I'll give you guys an unannounced bonus right now. So we're about to launch 2-day masterminds every month, either in Chicago or at Tampa, because my daughter's down in Tampa. I got to get the dates zeroed out. And the value on those are going to be $5,000 for 2 days. And then I'm probably selling it for $1,000 though, until I fill up my first 2 to 3 events and get them going. And then I'll raise the price to $3,000 and we'll go to $5,000, right? But anybody in this group who joins this 5-day challenge, whatever you pay towards this challenge, if you pay $495 or $497, I'm going to give you $497 back towards any live mastermind that I'm charging for, right? So if it's $1,000, you'd be only paying $505. If you pay $297, you'd only be paying $703. If you pay $97, you'd only be paying $900 for a 2-day live workshop together. So I'm going to call those O'Keefe Mastermind bucks that you could pour into any mastermind that you'd like to, okay, of mine. Now, here's the downside of that, which you're not getting this pitch right now. Am I pitching you sideways and you don't know it? No, but you're not getting this pitch right now. Is what I'm saying is that if I'm only charging $1,000, well, after my 2 masterminds go by, and then you're trying to use your O'Keefe bucks to that, Well, if it's 3,000, then you're paying 2,500. Do you see what I'm saying? So there is time sensitive. There's a time urgency there. Now, I'm not going to hold you to this now, but the other way I could layer an expiration date on that is say, like, these O'Keefe bucks expire in 31 days or in 7 days. I'm not doing that to you because I'm kind of beta testing this on the spot. But you see what I'm saying? So when you jump in this challenge, I can't promise that the next challenge I'm going to be given O'Keefe bucks, but I'm going to stick in there. The money you pay in here, I'm going to pay you back in O'Keefe bucks if you want to come to a live workshop here in Chicago. Most likely at my house. We'll do a small group of probably 12 to 15 people, or in Tampa, most likely at a VRBO with a small group of just, 8, 12, 15 people. So really intimate, a lot of good knowledge. We'll walk through things really, really slowly and make sure you're getting everything you need. Okay. Okay. So that's how you do the unannounced bonus, by the way. And then if I'm selling it, then I do the whole presentation. You would just do the intro. You'd come in there and be like, hey, it's David Moffitt. For everybody who's been on who was part of my VIP day, because that's probably what I would do if I was David. You spent $1,000, appreciate you. I brought in an old friend of mine at O'Keefe. Ed's going to talk about his time collapsing book and how to get faster results in every area of your life and 10 out of the box ways to grow your business. Now, if I was doing this for Robert, who's in health and fitness, I may do 12 out of the box ways to get what you want in your life much faster than you ever thought was possible. Plus, here's 5 side hustles that, whatever Robert thought his industry needed, we could make it happen. So that's the unannounced method bonus. And if you're a niche industry leader that you're running challenges or masterminds or coaching calls or webinars right now, and you feel like you're ready for that right now, reach out to me on Facebook or email fel@o'keefelive.com. That's fel, F-E-L, @o'keefelive.com, and let her know that you are interested in the unannounced bonus method and the wingman method, because that's what those are. Okay, Al Rice, I got you, buddy. You're signing up for platinum. Appreciate it, buddy. Got it. Great stuff. Wish I was here earlier. Rich, I'm going to send you the recording, buddy. I appreciate the kind words, though. Okay, really do. Now I got to go back to Robert. Okay, Robert. I'm going to have Fel. Call Kelvin. Okay, cool. Just want to make sure we're good. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Can I just share something with you guys before I answer this question? So one of the things that I need to let you know is, like, I've been doing this for other people behind the scenes. The other people have teams, like usually like their virtual assistant who runs their Zooms or virtual, and so my job is I show up and I just hammer the message home. And so some of the logistics, like doing this on a Friday afternoon, like it's falling on me. That's okay. That's going to change. We're getting new cameras coming in this week. We got our whiteboards coming in. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a little more tech friendly. But the reason I share some of that is I want you to see, like, as I'm launching the 100K day method, we're having some hiccups that, like our text messaging didn't go out as properly. So we had to do it one by one manually. I had a VA do that. We sent out our voice broadcast. I didn't buy enough credits for the full voice broadcast. So I had to recorded it. We sent it out, and all of a sudden, I get a freaking ping on a text message saying, hey, you got to add more credits to get the rest out. But I was already on the golf course with my son, watching him compete this morning. And I was like, so, those are things falling through the thing. So then we do our team meeting. I mean, my media team, we're going to start clanking those up. I'm going to be bringing an operations assistant whose only job is to make my podcasting and my coaching seamless, because right now it's not. And it bothers me a lot because my brain doesn't work. My brain does not work sequentially and logistically. And if you're on this training, you're probably similar to me. But then again, you might not be. You might be more logistically oriented. You're having a hard time selling. And that's where my gift can help. fulfill your gift, right? So Robert, okay. And then if you have more questions, I know there are a bunch of you guys are still on, and there's my son Eddie, and there's Perry, Rich, Robert, love it. I'm assuming you will cover this next week. If we don't have budget for ads and want to use JV method with others that have a list, not in my niche, what is a normal percentage to pay them? Makes sense. Robert, when we cover, this is a great question, I'm going to answer it. When we cover the lead flow, we're going to do if you have a budget lead flow, and then we're also going to do if you don't have a big budget, you can come over and say hi, everybody, lead flow thing. I do this. I go after my organic market really aggressively early, even when I have a budget. Like, so if I have 10 grand to spend, I'm going to let you know that if I have an idea, I'm not going to spend money on it. I'm going to start posting things, PMing people, texting people who fit my criteria. Okay. And I'll teach you the exact words to say. Like if you guys are in my groups, you see I use those. They're hand raiser posts. My mentor Travis Seigel calls them a T1 posts because he uses a tapper method, which he's one of the smartest guys in the industry. So I'm going to help you with that. Number one. Number two is, yes, you can do JVs. What the secret on the JVs though is you don't want to blow your relationship early. So for example, I'm about to recruit JVs for my expert method, for my 100K a day method. I'm waiting for my son to come give me a hug. You say hi to everybody. You're waiting for me to be done, aren't you? Or do something fun. Okay, I'll be done in a few. All right, love you. It's Friday, so everyone's like, Dad, when are you done? I'm getting like 10 text messages all from my kids. I don't let other people text me when I'm on calls, but my kids are allowed to text me because of obvious reasons. Or is that I will reach out to my JV friends, and then I will say, this is exactly the language you use. You say, hey, I have a new offer. I've run some organic testing to my warm list, and I don't necessarily have the data yet that I need, but I will pay you. Like if I'm asking a buddy of mine to do that, like you could be like, hey man, this is how you phrase this. I'm going to be doing 50% commissions, but if you're the first person that promotes this for me, I'm happy to just give you 75% if that's cool. And usually they'll say, oh bro, 50 is fine for me. Let me test it out for you. I got a small segment on my list, and I want, I'd love to support you, something like that. And then if there's affiliates out there in every industry, every niche that like they'll send a small batch of leads. It allows you to test your presentation, your offer. And then as you dial in your numbers, now you got numbers. Now you can go to more, I'll cover this. I wasn't really planning on covering how to find a lot of JVs and affiliates, but you're probably not the only one that's asking that question. Okay. But my friend, just so everyone knows, like if you run a cleaning business, you can run the same thing. If you run like my buddies my bankers, like they do events all day long, like live ones all the time, for, local business owners because they cater to business owners. Right. And so yeah, you can reach out to people. If I'm in the home cleaning business, maybe Rich, once he gets some momentum on his core offer, I always like focusing on your offer first, Robert, because once you get this offer going, and like my question to you would be, can you spend $10 a day, $30 a day, sending leads to your offer? Okay. And the answer should be yes. Like you should be like, go sell your butt. Go sell, go Eddie, just not so loud, but go sell some stuff. Go hold a garage sale, get $400 and then pour that into lead flow. Cause $10 a lead. This is if you don't have leads, $10 a lead, or just organically, you upload a lead. There's a great Alex Hormozy video about how he recommends messaging your core audience. I'm going to show it in the training. It's that good. And it's just really, this guy is worth $1 billion. In every business he starts, he does it by private messaging. a list of 100 people a day that are qualified. And he has a great comment. It's going to take you 2 hours to send your first message, but it's going to take you 2 minutes to send your second. And then once you get that dialed in, you can have a VA doing it. We're going to cover this on the training. So I love the question though. I should be paying you to come to Shark. Actually, if you don't want to come to, if you don't want to, I will send you the replay, Kelvin. If you don't want to come to Chicago, super safe where I live, by the way. And my area is really nice, and I got a house that would happily fit us all. And then we'd go out to a nice steak restaurant, maybe do something somewhere really safe. The hotel is not far from here, and it's out of the danger areas. I'm going to take you guys on a tour though, if you want to get a little crazy. But Tampa's gorgeous. Like, if you don't want to come to Chicago, come to Tampa. So I don't know. I got to look at my schedule, because I'll probably be hosting more events between Chicago, Nashville, and Tampa. I'm committing to once a month doing an intro event, which that would be an intro intensive once a month, because I'm excited about this. You guys can see watch how I blow up this business. This is going to be a $10 million a year business within the next 2 years or faster, because if you wrap your mind around the idea that you have the whole world to target, and I know Rich is probably like, hey, I'm a home cleaner. Well, Rich, let me just share this with you. If you dial this in, brother, I'm going to convince you that you shouldn't be a home cleaner. You should be teaching home cleaning companies how to promote their marketing business, or you should create a licensing program, or you should create a franchise. And you go from, time for money trap to, $10 million a year business that sells, or $1 million a year business profit that sells to a private equity business, and retire from there. That's what you should be thinking. It is all about Perry. Do you have any questions? Al, Rich, Robert, before I drop off? Janine, Susie, Eddie. I'm dropping off here in 2 minutes. Now, guys, before you drop off, listen, if you are not registered for the 5-day challenge, I don't understand where your head's at. I don't like, is it too costly to spend $97, $297, $497? I mean, if that's too expensive, then you're not ever going to be in business. Okay. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate you, buddy. You're never going to be in business. Like, just either make you're not. The reason why I'll see experts all the time that are expecting to sell $5,000 packages, yet they complain about buying a $5,000 package. And I'm like, do you understand what's going on here? You are like the gym owner who's complaining about people not working out, but the gym owner's fat. Okay. You're like the high school coach telling kids to work harder, yet you're lazy, right? Sorry, I'm bringing some truth to your doorstep, right? The worst clients you can ever have in your life are clients that think about cost, not value. Okay. Are you acting and behaving from a perspective of cost rather than a person of value? The wise person always knows the level of value. The cheap person, the failure, the loser, always understands cost. And they're looking at, how do I mitigate my cost? I'm not saying mitigate risk, brother. I'm talking about mitigating. You're cheating yourself of making $1 million, or $500,000, or $250,000, or for some of you, it is adding an extra $1,000 to $3,000 a month, so you can keep your kids in the school that they are. Buy the house of your dreams, get the car that you want, deal with this inflation issue, deal with this economic issue, deal with layoff issue. Like, what is your thing? For high paid professionals, your industry is probably being hit more than anything. And I always say, like, well, you need 4 times the amount of leads to get the same amount of revenue. Well, what if you got 16 times the amount of leads, right? To get 4 times the amount of revenue, but you don't have 16 times the amount of, you don't want to be dealing with people one-on-one 16 times. So you need mechanisms, assets that work for you in one-to-many formats, so that you can close the quantity to hit the income that you want to do, but you have massive leverage. And the better you get at using words that move masses, the better you're going to be at leveraging your business and taking it to an astronomical level, right? I don't know if you guys pray. I'm a prayer. And I have 7 kids and I have a wife, and I do this prayer every morning where I pray over my kids. And it just never dawned on me until recently. So forgive me if I am using my platform to spread the importance of prayer. But I realized that if I'm praying over 8 people and I have the authority to do that, it is exponential power than me just praying for myself. Okay. Now in business, if I am able to generate the 10 leads, but I have an asset that doesn't get a 1% conversion rate, but gets a 30% conversion rate. Now, as I get 100 leads, I get 30 buyers. And now whatever my price point is, if it's $1,000, now I get I just gave you my whole game plan, guys. I can now charge 1,300 or 3,000. I'm gifting you $500 so that you come to my 2-day mastermind. That's $1,000 so that you pay an extra $500, but it's a gift to you. Like, you are saving. But once I fill up 2 of those bad boys, guess what? That price point's not $1,000 anymore. It's 3,000. Why? Because there's power in numbers. And if I can fill, I got 12 in there. Poof, I got 12 in there. Good. Okay, cool. Now we're charging 3,000. Why? Because I got the flow. I know my math. And now I got the confidence. We're moving. It's not confidence in myself. It's confidence in just the process is moving. Does that make sense? My buddies who just generated 10,000 leads, right? Let me look at the text message. Okay. I'm going to give away stats right now. This will blow you away. These are the type of friends you want. Proximity is power, everybody. Proximity is power. Where's my guy? Can't give you his name. He'd kill me if I gave you his name. He'd literally kill me. He said, listen, buddy. He said, the last time we had 1,000 people registered and we did $1.5 million. Okay. Today, I said 10,000. I apologize. Today we have over 6,000 leads. And pre-prep starts tomorrow. So what they'll do, and this is something I'll teach, the depth I go into the 5-day challenge, I can't promise you, like, because this is mastery level stuff. I'm not hiding stuff from you guys in 5 days, but it's like kind of what I talked about before. Is like, you can't eat the whole. We can't go to a wine. We can't go to a wine farm and drink all the wine in one sitting. You know, it's impossible to do that. Like, we got to start where we're starting. We got to craft your offer, dial in your offer, get you to 10 leads, 100 leads, 300 leads. Boom, we're doing a $100,000 day. Bam. How often can we do the $100,000 day? Is it once a quarter, once a month, once a week? Right? There's not a person on this call. If you're listening to me now, there's not a person on this call and listen to me that cannot be super successful doing 1.2, 1.4, 1 point something million a year. And then we go, okay, once we get to that place, we go, okay, how do we do that a quarter? How do we do that every 6 months? How do we do a quarter? How do we do that a month? And then we look at your math. And you're going to say, Ed, I've reached my capacity because I'm in XYZ niche. And I'm going to say, no, you didn't. Just like I just said to Rich, you didn't limit your capacity. You just designed a system that now thousands and tens of thousands of people need. So now you're going to go from this leader to a bigger leader, right? So once Perry starts banging out his system and he's bringing in leads and customers, boom, boom, boom. I'm going to say, Perry, guess what? You just mastered a system. Let's partner. You go get the leads on how they should grow their fractional CFO business. I do all the pitching. It's your company, but I close everybody for you and I get 40% of the sales. Deal? Deal. You do the coaching, I be the closer. That's my wingman program, by the way. Okay. And that's where we start making 6 figures together every month. Do you see the vision of this, guys? That's the vision right there. And now he's got 6,000 people in there, right? So now, does that mean he's going to make $9 million? I just did the math in my head. So 6 times 1.5, maybe. What's more likely? It might fall a little short than that. Like, they're going to have some new challenges this month that they didn't have. Like, they're going to have capacity issues. Merchant accounts might blow up a little bit. Certain deliverability they're going to reach, but they're going to get better because of that. So will they hit that eventually? Absolutely. If they scaled certain ad segments are not going to perform as strongly on the bigger ticket. But here's what's super positive. They're going to see that and they're going to sit there and they're going to say, well, let's spend more money here. Let's spend less money here. Let's blow this up. Let's do more on YouTube. Let's do less on Instagram. Let's do more on TikTok. Let's do, these are all the things, but you don't get this kind of detail and you don't get to that mastery level till you go through the steps. So there's no judgment on these calls. You will never be judged by me. Okay. I've made every freaking imaginable mistake in the book and you won't get judgment. So, oh, I have another surprise bonus. If you sign up today, this is supposed to be like one of my first bonuses. You are going to get a free coupon that you can give to a friend, partner, spouse, or someone that here's my only criteria on this, right? It's a $450 value. It's, I shouldn't do that. You should only be able to gift them at the rate that you gift. Okay. That's my thing. If you go do a general VIP level, you can gift the person into that. If you do platinum, you can gift a person to that. If you're only doing general admission, you can gift a person into that. So as you upgrade, you get more value and you can bring a person with you. They'll get double the access, double the fun. What I would recommend doing if I were you is I would go to a business that is marketing oriented, a friend of yours, a colleague of yours, a partner of yours, somebody who's going to grow your business. By them doing more, they're going to make more. Put them in the room. I will train them for you. I should have led with this. I'm so embarrassed by myself right now. But this is the super bonus. Like, so I could think of 10 friends that if I help them grow their business faster, they would send me more traffic in business. And I would switch from that. I'm in a silo by myself doing these things onesie twosie, like, because traffic and conversion is the formula. More offers to more people more often is another formula. But the real formula is who already has your audiences and go help grow their businesses. And if you don't know how to do that, let me be the mentor for them. Gift it to them. I promise you, if you get them in our system and they're good people and they want to learn and they want to grow and they're motivated and all that stuff, you are going to see magic happen in a level, because when they do the partner stuff, they do the networking stuff, as their business grows, they're going to link this growth experience to you. Okay. So deal. I'm going to get you a code on that. I'll have Fel start sending this out to everybody. I'm super stoked about this bonus because it'll grow my business. Selfishly, it grows my business, but it doesn't grow my business until I impact people. Okay. Impact, transform, profit, exponentially scale, freedom. Does that sound good? I got 5 minutes left. Who has a question? Who has a question? Are you having fun yet? I'm having fun. Oh, how we doing over there, Eddie? What are you playing? We got questions coming in, Eddie. Good people on the call still. Committed to their business, man. They've been on this call for two hours. We're going to text message people. That's the other thing, guys. The follow through when you get a lead, they're never rejecting you. They're never rejecting you. And so when we send one email a day, you're reaching half the potential audience. And most people are so busy. Like, I look at my inbox right now and there's so many people I like that I'm not going to open their emails today. Why is that? Because I'm busy. We're busy. Calvin, I think you missed the bonus. The bonus is, earlier I talked about when you sign up, whatever level you sign up for, like if you sign up for platinum, you then get $495 that you can credit towards one of our live events in Tampa or Chicago coming up, which are most likely going to be $1,000. If I record this and it's 3,000, guys, sorry. It is what it is. This has been a great Ask Me Anything session. I'm liking the people and the questions. Rich is sharing his data here. All right, I got you, brother. I got you. Rich C. I don't know if you guys see that or not. Don't share your real data in the public chat, guys. We'll follow up with you. But bonuses are, if you whatever you buy, you're going to get O'Keefe bucks towards my 2-day live intensive. That's going to be $5,000. Okay, that's a live one. That's not my mastermind. When I offer my mastermind, some of you guys are like, can I apply it to mastermind? That's not what I'm offering you. If I change my mind at that point, you can ask me at the time. But in Tampa and in Chicago, I'm going to be doing live meetups. And the reason being is I got to get you guys better results faster. And it's not going to happen if you're not close to me. Okay. Number 2 is you will get one coupon that you can give to somebody else as a gift. I recommend that you give it to a partner or somebody. Actually, you know what, guys, scratch that. If you have a partner that you want on this, like it's somebody who's in your business or it's a spouse, they're free. Just reach out to our team. We'll give them a different access. I'm not doing that. You guys are good. Like, partners are the best. I understand that. And this doesn't cost me extra to have another body on there. Go to people that can grow your business. Like, if I'm teaching how to grow your business through live events, who would be people that I would like to gift this to? Agencies. Like, for me, like agencies. Why would I want to give this to agencies? Because agencies are so tired of selling to people one-on-one. And their clients are going to be tired of selling people one-on-one. They should all be in my freaking trainings, right? Who else should be here? Every dentist imaginable should be in this training. Like, come on, everyone in a medical profession should be selling one-to-many. They should not be doing one-on-one selling. I mean, when they get in your clinic, yes, but they should be being, if you have niches, if you have different ways of selling people, this is the format that you should be selling, okay? Every imaginable business that wants more customers, more clients, every investor that wants more leads, more deals, they should be doing this. They should be doing this. So, all right, everybody. If you have questions, you can email Fel, F-E-L, at edokeefelive.com. She also checks Eddie at O'Keefe Live. And all these offers, by the way, expire at midnight on Sunday night. These offers expire midnight Sunday night. So if you're not in yet, get in there, buddy. Get in there. Get in the training. And that'll be your opportunity, man. We're going to go from there. So my business operates, like every business needs to operate from a perspective of what is your lead thing that you're solving. And so my core thing when we're starting from the beginning is like, look, you need to learn how to sell one-to-many. Your problem is not a money thing. Your problem is a speed to money thing. Like, so people who make 70,000 a year, they think they only make 5,500 a month. No, they're just making 70,000 slowly. So what if we took that 70,000, we made it in 30 days? What happens? Boom, now they're making 70,000 a month. What happened to the person, their financial issue? They don't have one anymore, right? So speed and compressing time frames is the secret to why the 100K a day model is so powerful. Now, again, like I said before, there's no rejection in this. You can't fail at this, guys. You cannot fail at this, right? It's just a matter of whether or not you're going to fail at this or fail at not doing anything. Because I absolutely guarantee that if you look at every single pro that's out there, behind the scenes, they are doing a 100K day model, right? And most people, like, they could be teaching webinars. Like, I'm going to go learn a webinar. Well, that's great, but you're not learning that what the webinar people do are asset number 2. They do a cleanup campaign and they do unannounced bonus campaign. They don't do the wing pitch. Not everyone does what I'm doing. That's why it's so powerful. But and then the text messaging, the group reach out, and then how to use VAs to help reach out and close more deals. Like, you should be getting, if your competitor is getting a 3 to 5% conversion rate, you should be getting a 10 to 15% conversion rate. For some of your markets, it might be 30 to 40, right? Because as my one mentor says, no is acceptable. If someone says, no, this isn't a fit for me, that's acceptable. A non-answer is not acceptable. So what do you do with those? And so I'll teach you how to do that as well. And this works in every imaginable business. You know, whether it's carpet cleaning, whether it's home inspections, whether it's, you know, I'm a builder, whether it's medical devices, whether it's medical services, whether it's insurance services, where you do have regulations and other things. You could do a 10 things you need to know about college education if you're selling certain investments or whatever, and you don't really get in that, or 10 things you need to know, or 10 questions you should be asking when looking out for after your kid's a newborn. You know, there's different ways to package that consumer awareness thing, and it's really, really, really powerful. This is the model that's going to give you an acceleration over everybody. You're going to dominate any market. You're going to create your own unique niche so that you don't have competitors, but you are actually the preeminent, dominant person that joint ventures would want to be a part of. You're going to get access to somebody who's got 27 years of experience in this, that has made every imaginable mistake. I mean, when I went into dentistry, guys, you remember, this goes back to when I was 27 years old. I didn't know anything other than I wanted to make money. And I knew that helping coaches was not going to be my model. Helping coaches was not going to be my model, man. Right? Like coaches, meaning I'm talking about volleyball coaches. They didn't have any money. I was working my butt off. I was doing the, you know, traffic plus conversion, but we were doing with direct mail. And I was in love with marketing, and loving and selling, in love with copywriting. But man, oh man, I'm selling a $39 product to, you know, there's only a few thousand coaches in the world. And then they thought like they could call you and talk to you and be your best friend. You're like, man, you only spent $39 with me, man. I love coaches, by the way. I wish there was a way. There's a lot of good people in that market doing a lot of incredible things right now. So let me just say that, because it's true. And then I went into dentistry, and I didn't know anything about dentistry. Nothing about dentistry. I knew that I would go to a dentist once every 5 years when I had a toothache or a cavity or a problem, right? And then, you know, man, I'll tell you, I went in there, I was naive, but I launched my first ad. It made me money. I rolled that over into my next ad, bigger ad, and then that rolled into more money. And I had all these customers coming in. And then I was like, all right, let's roll it over. I had a joint venture, a person who wanted to interview me, sent my marketing out to his customers, gave me his customers. So there's time collapsing, right? That's time collapsing. All of a sudden, I went from a nobody to a somebody. I started speaking on stages as I was doing direct mail and all this other stuff. And then all of a sudden, people thought I had something unique and different, because I did. And then I started looking at my testimonials. And guess what? If you don't have a stage, you create your own stage. You create your own stage, right? And off to the races you go. So, you know, this is your doorway and your gateway. You know, if you've been asking like for help and looking for something, a tool or a way to grow your business, but you haven't taken it yet, this is the lifeboat. This is the raft. This is the model. Because if it's not you as the expert, you could do this for other people. And guess what? When you do it for other people, they are going to have success. You could start your own agency using just this model that I'm teaching, right? You could do this whole model and teach it for other people. If you're a marketing agency right now, you can add this to your client's model, and they're going to spend more money with you, right? Perry deals with SaaS brands. SaaS brands should be using this. Robert deals with health people. Guess what? Who asked me about preferred Tennessee or Florida, Chicago? Right, for like, yes, sir. I understand that one. So do I. That's hysterical. I love it. All right. I think we've gone a bit long. Appreciate you guys, though. This has been great. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. My team right now and I are working on how do we get Ed only speaking every day or teaching. So where when I start my day, maybe I have a few emails or whatever, but I do not spend any time behind the computer that is not productive. Either we're teaching or we're selling. And that's where I'm working on getting my whole business. We're doing a podcast. Okay, we're doing a podcast. We're teaching or we're selling, because that's my gift. And that's what I love doing. I do not like, I'm really good at sales copy, but I do not like sitting down and writing a bunch of sales copy. I like talking sales copy. That's why I invented the $1 million interview method, because frankly, people love podcasts better than they like sales videos. So, you know, it's another asset we put in your toolkit. Bam, you're off to the races, you know. All right, guys, you're amazing. Thanks for being a part of this. You should feel proud of yourself that you stuck with it. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'll post this on YouTube. I'll send out a link to everybody with the link, and then the countdown starts till Sunday. Those bonuses, the credit back to your next live, the one of the live trainings in Tampa or Chicago, will be available to you. The gift it to a friend that or partner, or the partner's free. I already told you that. The spouse is free. I already told you that. But make a list of 10 people that would benefit from being a part of the program. And then what you do is you identify top 3 that would benefit and actually do something with this. And then reach out to them, say, hey, I have this invite. You can be part of this program, absolutely free. I wanted to gift it to you. Only thing you got to do is sign up with this coupon, and man, make some impact with people. If they can't make it because of the short notice, don't worry about it. Say the recordings are going to be up there, and you'll get access to all of it. But I think that's it. All right, have an amazing day. I hope to see you and talk to you on Monday, and we'll talk soon, guys. Thanks, bye.